Lot going on. I'm talking more about it on my podcast. What up, everybody? This is your guy, the Captain Prophet Wolf.
We're out here.
K Philly chapter. As you can see, this is now a back-to-back podcast. Also got my guy GQ SAS MagFed player, man. This guy is dope. Me and him been running it back for a minute now. This is actually our third podcast. Yeah, third podcast, I believe. So it's dope. But in the meantime, I'm definitely ready for this podcast. And tonight's topic, we will be discussing, first strike round. We'll be discussing. We'll be discussing MagFed events, and also we'll be discussing on the goals and the plans that is in motion for us for this year. So, everybody already know what GQ is. Anyway, GQ, man,
yeah,
how's life
your boy. Tuesday Brews Day.
Tuesday Brews
It's chilling, man. I'm out here just trying to get prepared for the 0 hour. Getting my gains in. Got to be active on and off the field.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And it's great that you're active like that. I think that's an important thing for the physical body and for your mental. So I definitely agree 100%. Working out.
For real, working out it helps the mental. Exactly, you're right.
Yeah, it's like a relief. You can call it stress relief.
For real, we got the punching bags in there.
Yeah.
If first strikes aren't enough, you hit the bag.
Oh man, but GQ, man, it's so happy to have you back on my podcast, man. I see you doing great things, man. I check out a few of your videos every now and then, and man, those first strikes, they be flying. I mean, you be hitting targets like crazy. But I want to ask you though.
Yeah, and they hit hard too.
Yeah, like what's probably your best hit that you got somebody? Yeah, like what's your best target? Give me 3 best targets that you caught on camera too.
My 3 best targets?
Yeah.
Okay, so one was at extreme range. It was from one point of the field to the other point, which is it was like a 70-yard shot with a short nemesis barrel out of that MG 100. Flew straight, clean, nailed him, perfect headshot. That was one of my favorites. Recently, I got that guy in Georgia with the full auto first strikes. That was definitely my other favorite one. And then I got Javier. I don't know if you ever seen Javier Gonzalez. He makes all these really cool MagFed markers. He constructs them himself out of like aluminum parts that he welds and whatnot.
Yeah.
He was all the way on the other side of the field at the longest field that we had in South Florida. It was in West Palm Beach, but they no longer exist anymore. It was Hot Shot. And I was with my first strike, my DMR, my MCS DMR, obviously shooting first strike rounds. And I hit him. That was like a 100-yard shot because he was all the way back at spawn and I had just respawned. So it was all the way across the map. That was number 1.
Damn.
Out of that DMR. It goes in that order. The DMR shot, then the full auto first strike, then the longest shot at extreme.
Okay.
That's my favorite, I would say.
So these are some of the greatest shots that you ever had. And, what gave you like the momentum to just be out in the field and knowing that you can probably outbeat a lot of your opponents? Like, what's that mindset?
Oh, it has to do with playing with speedball players. Playing against speedball players, and not just, walk-on speedball players, but actual like teams. I've played against teams doing practices, at Family Paintball Center, and it's an even smaller speedball field than a traditional one. And I'm still using first strike rounds, on a speedball field because I want the reliability from those rounds. A lot of people say that the first strike will pop one of the bunkers, and that's completely cap. There's no truth behind that. You could literally shoot one of those speedball bunkers like point blank with a first strike round. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to rip anything.
Okay.
People who say that is absolutely crazy. I've never seen that happen. And then, but I just like the performance out of them, that I could just point the red dot exactly where I want it to go, and it'll hit them with the first shot, because you need to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Where other speedball players, they blast, and then where the string of paint is coming from. So playing with on that like high level caliber of a gameplay style, speed, precision, communication, teamwork skills, all that kind of stuff. You learn a lot from that kind of play, and then you could translate that into our game of MagFed.
Okay.
And it's actually easier because you're not getting blasted and pinned down with so much rounds.
Right. Interesting. And because when you're going up against speedballers,
a lot of times you go up against people with setups that are massive, where a regular speedball player, their setup is like as minimalist as possible, so they stick out as small as possible. They know how to really, play, where like most of the MagFed people that I've seen, that I've played with, and I've played all over, and they treat it more like a real firearm, and it's like they pop out way too much out of their bunker than they should. They make a lot of mistakes that you don't need to do in paintball. Like it doesn't have like recoil like a real firearm, so you don't need to hold it really the same.
Right.
So if you play like a speedballer but with the MagFed marker in your hand, you're just gonna do better.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Because some people try to. Well,
yeah.
I'm one of the people that try to compare.
Am I coming out clear?
Huh? Is it JQ?
Am I coming out clean and good?
Yeah, you're good, bro. I hear you loud and clear. You're coming out very good. But my question,
bet.
One of my what you about to say? Oh, you saying go ahead? I hear you.
The what?
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Oh no! Wait, no. Say it one more time.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But say what you said before.
I was going to say that I sometimes compare firearms to paintball only because of the style and how you can customize them a certain way, and it's like it feels like you're shooting a real firearm. I can't lie about that. It's like both of it, like both paintball and real firearms are kind of like similar. It's like they're using a style of the real firearm. Only difference is just a paintball. Like you're shooting out paintball and they're shooting out.
For sure, and you're gonna get that better feel from MagFed play than like say airsoft or like any of these other impact sports, because the round has more mass to it, so you're gonna feel that recoil a lot more. Even though it's like paintball, there's no recoil, but there is. It's a little. You feel it a little. It's good.
See, but the way I look at paintball and real firearms, I do believe that you can transform in like like if you're playing paintball and you know how to shoot a paintball gun, I do believe you can literally transform that into going into real firearms. Only because the way you shoot, the way you can hold, the way you basically can handle a paintball gun. That's just my opinion, you know. But I do
For
feel like you
sure.
can
That's,
translate that.
especially running like something like a T15 that has, one to one, it's styled one to one as a real AR, so you get build that dry fire weapon mechanics,
Yeah, yeah.
and that has a lot, you know, it impacts your, the real world, the real firearm, and like, because there was this video that T-Rex Arms did with this guy Liku from like Japan, and they don't have firearms over there, and he took him out to he brought him to America to shoot with him, and
Okay.
all he had was airsoft experience, and he
Mm,
went on with a real firearm, and he performed awesome, so there's some merit to it, using
yeah.
MagFed and like a similar type that looks like a real firearm. It helps you build those dry fire mechanics for sure.
Yeah, because shooting a real firearm. 'Cause I have shot plenty
So
of
you're right.
real firearms, so it's like that. Some guns have good, okay, like kickbacks. Some of them are have crazy kickback, but it just depends on the person who really is shooting it. Honestly, I feel like if you're a great shooter, and you know how to control the way you shoot, I think you'll be good. My opinion, though.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
But it just comes down to the person that you shoot the gun. But I do plan to make that a thing very soon in podcast. I do want to start adding people onto the podcast that on a regular daily basis that handle firearms. And there are a few people that I have in mind that I will be having on there to discuss that, because I want people to understand that there's two different type of thing in this world. When it comes to real firearms and real paintball, you have to understand the strategy of it. You have to understand what you're getting yourself into, and third, you have to understand and know what you're doing. And those to me are the most important things in the world. Like, you have to know what you're doing. Like, you have to know how you're doing it, what you're doing, and when it comes down to, like, what's the purpose behind it. I feel like.
Exactly. And practice too.
Yeah.
Practice too. Keep, not giving up. Keep respawning if you get hit. Don't just like, walk off after you get hit. If you have a respawn game, you could go back in there, get your licks in, get hit, learn. It's all about that.
Yeah. And I do remember a time when I first got into paintball, it was like I was training my mind to be like this super soldier. And
You got
well,
to be in that mindset that it's like a real getting hit with a real bullet.
yeah, and that's
That makes
part of
it
the
more
reason why I
intense.
did that. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I trained myself to do that. And I'm not gonna lie, it pretty much worked, because I had plenty of battles where I lost. I have plenty of battles where I got shot a certain way, a certain angle, or someone hit me from a distance or up front, and a lot of time it's my mistakes. Like, it's not no one's mistake, it's my mistakes. So I think it's very important to always
And a lot of
practice
times it's
what you
your
do.
teammates' mistakes for not watching your sides and whatnot, right?
That too, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That also comes in play, because you know, and that's why I always been big on trust. Like, it's important to trust your teammate. It's important to know that your teammate has your back. It's
Definitely,
important.
yeah, you got to have a good squad.
Yeah, and it requires a lot of I don't want to say sacrifice, but it requires a lot of sportsmanship. It requires a lot of communication and a lot of dedication when it comes to teammates. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
because a lot of times GQ, and I'm pretty sure you know this yourself. Like you come across somebody that you don't even know, and you're side by side with them, but y'all both have the same mindset and the same instinct to the point where y'all have that trust already there, and it's like y'all can move together. Like,
I
bro,
wish I
like
had that with somebody. I've never been able to experience that, honestly.
never.
Nope.
Oh man, nah, GQ.
I've always
You,
just had to put it all in myself, because
yeah.
I've played with big names. The Punisher. This guy was big in Florida. I don't know where he is now. He's probably going to be at 0 hour because they all coming out of retirement going there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were breaching one of the. It was actually in Georgia at that same field, Hoppers, but like years ago.
Okay.
And we're breaching into one of these castles in the woods field, and you have to like kind of wrap around the staircase.
Yeah.
Went to the left side to wrap around, and he went to the right side to wrap around. Once we both finished wrapping around, clearing that castle, he shoots me right in the back of the neck, right here. He thought I was
Yeah.
an enemy. I
Yeah.
was just clearing the room. Now this guy is supposed to be experienced. And how are you
That's
gonna shoot your own teammate? Like I'm pretty unique. Nobody goes with you know, what I wear. Pretty unique,
yeah.
I would say. And for him to just shoot me in the back of the head like that was wild, bro. With a first strike, my mask came off. They were like, "Cease fire!" Like 4 dudes jumped on top of me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm good. I'm good. Where's my mask?"
Damn.
But it was like
Yeah,
pretty much point
that
blank.
happened to me a few. I hate that. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's something that I never liked it in paintball, especially when
That
you're
same
getting shot.
situation, if I probably would have went in by myself, it probably would have been a little better, honestly.
Yeah, and that's part of where you trust your own self, no one else. So I definitely feel you're coming from. I
I'm
have
about
been
to
in a
change my
situation.
name to Wolf too.
Oh, you're inspired, huh?
Yeah, yeah, from that episode last night.
Yeah, I do feel like GQ, like if me and you was ever get together, and we will get together this year. That's for 100% for sure. You can trust me, bro. Like I have a feeling that me and you would have a lot of fun
I
together
think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
because
Once
I
I heard we
never.
were going on blue, I was soup, bro.
Are you so? Yeah, I'm so locked in, man. I'm ready. Like I'm amped up for this year. Especially when getting to these events, man. I'm like I'm all in. And people that I come across all the time, it's funny. Like everyone that I come across, it's like I just trust them on the field. Like for some reason, the trust is like already there. Like I don't have to say nothing. I don't have to question nobody. It's like you're side by side with them. They got your left, you got their right, or someone got your six. Like it's like the
Exactly,
trust
because
is
I
there.
feel like if you were watching the right side or the left side, and I was watching the other, I feel like I could trust you holding that side down. While
Yeah,
I try to think of something to do, I'm sure you're probably thinking of something to do as well on your side. You know,
yeah,
we put it
yeah.
together, be good.
But it's all about, like I said, it's really all about communication. And I will be running comms this year for events. I wasn't doing much of that last year, but this year I'm running comms for sure. This year, I actually just bought 2 comms, so I'm definitely handing them out whoever I can, that's running with me side by side. So it's going down with that.
Yeah, I've never really had to run comms. I mean, I've been in like a couple situations where I've had like people to run with, but nobody really communicated on the comms. I was the only one trying. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like I'm like this year I'm more disciplined on who I give comms to. Because not everybody really need a comm, especially if they're not using it. So it's kind of like a
Yeah,
waste. Plus, you have a certain battery percentage you have to like, use it and not use it. And it all depends on like what you're doing. So
yeah, you gotta
yeah.
remember to turn it off. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm being very careful with that this year. But I'm looking to running comms though. I feel like running comms and events is very big and helpful.
Oh, facts. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it definitely is. So, like, if your running comms good, it's definitely helpful.
Yeah, so I'm making that happen. But I definitely can't wait for 0 hour. That's something I'm looking forward to, this year. And definitely the honey, what's it called? The honey bunch?
The honey bunch of oats. No, honey
Yeah,
badger.
yeah, honey batch. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that event as well. That's gonna be my back-to-back event. And then probably after those two, I'm looking to definitely travel for sure, and make some stuff happen as well, traveling. So it's gonna be a great year, man. I can't complain at all about this year. This year is gonna be amazing. Like I can already feel it. I already know what's going on. I know what's gonna happen. I'm coming across some of the greatest people in the world, and I'm adding to my podcast, and I'm just looking forward to just growing as a paintball player. It's nothing about
Yeah,
being,
you started off the new year like
yeah,
perfectly, bro. You got this.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to just growing with a lot of people, man, building relationships and just working with people. Honestly, that's my goal in life. So that's all it is, man.
For real.
But GQ, man, I really can't wait for us to link though. I do feel like we're gonna do a lot of damage this year, especially when we go to 0 hour. I know it's gonna
Big
be a
fan.
lot of big names out there, so I'm looking forward to joining you on the blue team for sure. You, Once with K, the whole all chapters, my chapters will be there. I was told that the New York Dodgers will be there as well. Um, I was told that the Assassin Alliance would be there. A few big names would be there. A few good teams would be there. So
Oh
I'm looking
yeah.
forward, I'm looking forward to that big event.
And a lot of people are coming out of retirement for that game, like I mentioned before. Yeah,
Yeah, I
old heads, get them out of here,
yeah
bro. Stay,
yeah
stay on your couch.
yeah
Go home.
yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna prophesize this year on 0 hour, you know, but I do have a feeling that the blue team will bring that home, but it's not gonna be easy. So I do feel like that will be another big challenge with this year, the event. It's not gonna be easy. I feel like they're gonna try to run us out, but I think we can pull it off.
Yeah,
Honestly.
they're gonna come up with some kind of shield rule where like they could have unlimited shields and they're gonna be everywhere all over the field, bro. Watch, watch.
Yeah,
Shields
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, I do feel like that's going to happen. Only because, depending on who they have on their squad, but yeah, it's gonna be a big challenge.
And
Probably a lot
when
of
they're all
cheating.
bunched up in the shield too, like you get a shot in there, they don't
Yeah,
call it, because there's so many of them and all this mayhem and can't really see that. They just cover it back up with the shield, even though you got that nice little right through
yeah,
the hole. They're
yeah,
just like that cheese that they do. Shield.
yeah. They're running first strikes, right?
You can
Oh,
run whatever, but I know
yeah,
I'm getting two cases each day.
yeah. I do plan on. I'm definitely breaking them on a whole lot of first strikes. Very soon. I'm buying a whole bunch of them, so I'm gonna be locked in with that. I probably do run a little round ball, like probably one bag of round ball, honestly, just for spare magazines, whatever.
Round ball is perfect for that field, bro. That's
Yeah,
a
I heard it was pretty
CQB.
big though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's all bunker to bunker, so like you could literally get like right up on another person.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah.
Like it'll be like this little shack that you're in, and then somebody's on the other side of the wall of that shack. Like yeah, it's like super close.
Damn. Yeah, that
You have the
sounds like so much
option.
fun.
You could go in the woods and do that long ball stuff. You could be in the.
Nah.
They have this one like basically it's just a straight like path that goes all the way down the whole entire field. That's
Mm.
Death Alley right there, bro.
Yeah, I'm so close up in person. I'm all personal when it comes to being inside bunkers, being inside building. I'm all for close up close to personal. I actually just bought me a 10-inch barrel for my T15 because
Mm.
my 12-inch barrel one of the things inside of it came off, so I had to go and I couldn't find it. So I went and ordered me a new barrel, but got 10 inch instead, and I got the barrel as well to a 10-inch, so this is perfect. Like
Bro,
it's
short barrels are the best barrels. The shorter you go, the
yeah,
better. Because
yeah.
honestly, I've used the shortest Nemesis barrel that you could get, and I've hit people just as far as my DMR,
Mm.
just as accurately too.
Yeah, I'm still working on Nemesis barrels, man. I want to get one. I've been waiting for like 2 years to get one. Every time I try to get one, it's always out of stock. But I think this time it's
I would
actually in
get one
stock.
for your MG, right?
Yeah.
But your T15, like honestly, I'm running a smoothbore barrel. I'm running the original stock barrel on my T15.
Mm.
And I'm getting great performance. I haven't had no problem with first strike rounds. Um, my round ball is shooting good. I mean, I don't know. That last clip that I uploaded yesterday, the short video, when I full auto, I was using round ball and it was chopping like muffin, right? Brrr, chopped everywhere. So,
Wow.
but like 5 balls still came out good, but like I think it barrel broke because I didn't get none in my magwell, nothing in my chamber. It literally barrel broke, so like the ball itself broke. And it was graffiti. It was just weird that happened. I don't know why.
Mm.
But first strike, they would never do that to me. You know, that's why I trust that.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems with my T15 since since I bought it back in 2021. That summer I had bought my first T15, and that's when I didn't know how to work it or use it. You know, it kept air leaking, but I found out that it wasn't an air leak; it was certain tanks that you use, and I was using at the time the Empire tank for my
Hmm.
T15 through a remote line, and the pressure of that actually exploded like all in my T15. So that was the problem for that, and I found out later on because someone told me from that works on T15s and they actually run T15 all the time. They were saying that there's only two tanks that you can use for this T15, and that's only the Ninja and the First Strike tank.
Yeah.
So I found
Yeah.
that out. Yeah,
I used to use like a super high pressure regulator on
yeah,
Empire $40 aluminum 48 cubic inch tank,
yeah.
right? It's like your basic tank.
Mm.
And then I changed the regulator to a super high pressure regulator. So the output pressure was like 1100. And then what was happening was like it's called the it's called the air chamber.
Yeah.
It's like a metal aluminum piece that goes um, under the trigger.
Okay.
That's what makes the air flow from the tank to the chamber. Um, that has a little weld there, and those welds sometimes bust when you have too much pressure.
Mm.
And they're pinhole, super, like microscopic little holes that it leaks out a lot, and then your marker fails. It gets worse over time. But what I recommend anybody is use like exactly like you said, Ninja or a first strike tank. Because right now I'm running full auto, and they said full auto because I had full auto since it came out, but I haven't been able to run it till now really good um, because I had to rebuild my T15 from it, like from the reasons that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the full auto. Right now I'm using a regular tank. I didn't change the regulator at all. It's just a regular 15 CI first strike tank.
Okay.
Um, and with the regular output pressure, and then just tune the full auto to your desired rate of fire, which I like to go fast.
Yeah, I was about to say because I don't run my T15 in the wintertime. I never do. I only run it through the spring and the summer because I experienced people T15 messing up in the winter about 3 years ago, and it was like, man, they're like everybody who brought out T15, all their guns was either air leaking, uh, too many breaks and first strikes and round ball. And it was like, man, it's like, what's going on with everybody gun? And
Yeah,
even
don't like that
my,
cold weather too much, bro. And you're
yeah,
over there in the PA area, so
yeah, sensitive. So I never ran my T15 ever in the wintertime. I mean, I probably could now, but I'm not even chancing it. You know, mine's clean. I always clean it. I always make sure I maintenance it. Not every time I'm on the field, but probably like once or twice a year. Yeah.
like the way you got your MG built out though, it's like you have that it's like a Dragonov kit. What is that?
It's a AK 3D printed kit. That's what I got.
Yeah.
So
Like
that,
you
yeah,
you you represent like a real kind of like a real firearm as your marker, you know? So it's still cool, you know?
yeah,
Like I caught some, you know, some heat for using the MG instead of the P15. It's like I know it's like not really the looks, you know. Everybody says it's ugly. Even I said it was kind of, you know, it didn't look that good
right,
until they started putting some kits out for it. You know, then they had the Inception design kit, and I was like, yeah, that's what it got to look like, you know. Put a
yeah.
little Stinger handguard on there, a little Nemesis barrel on there, and that's the MG that I made famous in my video. The elimination.
It's a process. My NG100, because to be honest with you, GQ, I had a problem my first NG100. I ran it so many times. I mean, I was going every weekend to different events. I mean, a different paintball fields, and man, I would get some mad crazy kills with that. And at some point, I had to when I first caught the air leak, I had to take all of the I had to take all of uh
Or
the O-rings out and replace them, which I did. It was fine with that. And after that happened, it was cool, it was working. But then I had a new problem that I couldn't figure it out because it actually was something between the regulator inside of the NG100. And that part I could not figure it out at all. I took it apart a million times, and I took it to the shop, and finally they finally fixed it, and they said no, it was a small problem. It wasn't even hard, and they showed me how to do it, and I was like, wow, that's it. So it's like the MG100 is probably the best marker
as
on the
far as
market.
like having to deal with it, I agree.
Yeah, it's easy to make this,
'Cause,
like the
like I
easiest to
haven't
make this.
even I just cleaned the outside really because I had no brakes, no barrel obstruction, no dirty in my barrel. You know, like I just cleaned the outside. Look inside there, it's still good. Take
Yeah,
out the bolt, look at the bolt, it's still all lubed up. It's still good. Put it back in there. What else I gotta do? It's not
yeah,
dirty inside.
yeah. It just it just depends on how long you're always playing. Like you play every weekend, then you have to definitely
I played
maintenance
literally
your
every weekend with it, bro.
yeah.
I
If you're
played
playing every
every
weekend, you
weekend with
gotta
it.
maintenance that.
Like
Definitely gotta maintenance that.
three days in a weekend. 3 days a week. I would play with that MG, and I ran it so much, and still yet, you know, I mean, I cleaned the outside and I looked at the inside, like I said, and it still got the lube, like the grease in there, like plenty enough. It doesn't need anything else. It's not
Mm.
dried up. So that marker has went through like a good 8 months, 9 months of continuous use every weekend without really messing up. Now, my only problem is when it comes to that marker, and it's not even
Yeah,
that marker's fault, not even Planet Eclipse's fault. It's the FID mags. those FID mags, bro. Now I got the first run. Maybe they're making them better now, but
Yeah.
that follower is like the softest plastic ever. Like kind of like brittle. Drop it and it would break. Like follower was super soft and it wouldn't like lock down, so I couldn't use round ball with it.
Mm.
So you know how you push the spring down and it locks back into place? I couldn't lock the spring back, so I couldn't use round ball with it. That's why I slowly like transitioned to using first strike only. That was like because I was kind of forced to using first strike only. I had nothing really to shoot first round ball out of besides my FSC.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had that problem in a while though, honestly.
And I couldn't use the T15 because it had
yeah,
fixed.
I mean, all my small problems when I first started out, really playing MagFed more, like it was only the MG 100 I had a problem with. Probably with the magazines, probably like 1 or 2 magazines I had a problem with. But other than that, man, I haven't had problems since then. That was like two or 3 years ago.
Yeah, if you're using dye mags or the CF20 mags, this is gonna. I know I heard a couple things about CF20 mags not working the way people want it, but if you get them some new mags, like some new CF20 mags,
they're pretty good though.
yeah,
I
no, they're
love how
good
they are.
for
They're
the
pretty
most that
good.
I've heard, and I've used them too.
Yeah,
I've gotten good reviews, but there's a couple people that I've said they had little problems with their CF20s, but I'm
because
sure if you get
the
some new ones, they took care.
only problem that you can have with not the only problem, but the problem that I know you can have is when the spring goes all the way out in the mag, like when it goes all the way out. That's the only problem that you probably would have. But it all depends on how you're using your magazine. So like you can't just shove all these first strikes in there, all these round balls in there, because the more it's like sometimes because people leave the spring, like when you're winding it, people leave that and they don't never like give it any type of release. It's like they rewind it and just leave it there. You can't be doing that because you're now the spring is like starting to get beat up. It's tight.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem that I ever had.
They did a whole experiment on that for like real firearm mags. They were saying, can you leave your mags loaded, for whatever periodic time? They were like, yeah, because the way that, your springs age is by continuously closing them and opening them. The more you close them and open them, that's how your springs age. But if you have it one time sprung down, it's not going to give you. It's not going to be the problem. So but that's in real firearm mags. In paintball mags, I've had my springs wound up in my T15 mags like by accident, and I went to go use them, and they still worked fine. But that could be different for other mags, and I have seen some difference. They don't feed as fast. They still feed and no problems, but yeah, I wouldn't leave your springs wound in your mags.
Yeah.
Just in case. But if you do, it's okay if you do it like once or twice.
I agree 100%. 100%, I agree.
That's out of experience, I've done it before and they still work, but rather not do it.
No. GQ, I want to ask you this question. So there will be a part 2 of warfare this year. I haven't got confirmed yet of the date for that. but I do believe it may be in either August or September.
What theme is that? I think I know this. Warfare.
Yeah,
What theme is
yeah.
it? Like, what is like a.
So they're running it back. Last year was part one, which was Warfare One. They had it basically, and it was amazing, man. Like the time I had for the first game, well, for the first Warfare, it was all MagFat, like Mag versus MagFat, um, blue versus red, of course. You know the generals, I believe, was you had shout out to Junsky from Winslow K, and Captain Viper from Winslow K. And on the other side, you had Killmonger as the other captain for the red, and you had Frank Castle for second general for over there for red.
Hmm.
And it's basically a MagFed event. I mean, it was so dope. Like that probably was the most intense MagFed event ever. Like that
In
was
PA?
crazy. Huh? Yeah, it was in Jersey. It was in Jersey. It was
In
actually
Jersey?
at on Target
Cousins?
Park Actions. On Target.
Oh,
On
yeah.
Target Park. But I think this year it won't be there. I think it will be in PA. If I'm not mistaken, I heard it was told that it was going to be in the Poconos, so Poco Loco, paintball park. I believe it was is what it's looking like it's going to be at this year. Like I said, it will be confirmed probably in a couple months. I'm still waiting for some feedback from one of the guys who's running that event again. I know he was told that he may
We did
be,
it like in August. In
yeah,
August would be perfect.
yeah. But like I said, I'm still waiting to hear back from what's the status of that, because I think he may be getting deployed. I'm not too sure, but we're gonna see what happened though.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
But yeah, that's one of the events that well,
Guys,
I
leave
remember.
the events that you guys want us to hit up. We'll make it happen. Well, at least
Oh
I
yeah,
will, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of big events this year. We have to make them together, bro. Like, we can't even miss them out. I know Wolf Paintball plan on coming to some events this year. I know we talked about yesterday the PRZ event in July. So hopefully I
Yeah, we
can
gotta
make
go.
that. That's something that I plan on going as well. And I might fuck around and just stay down there too for a couple of days. Just for food and people and stuff like that. So I'm down.
Yeah.
Big damn. Okay.
Yeah. Wednesday.
Mayhem just said it's gonna definitely be in Poco Loco. Not certain there is enough parking, very, very small. Okay. So it's definitely gonna be in PA for sure.
Oh, that place in PA, there's no parking over there.
It's probably small. It's probably not enough parking. So I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna be squeezing people like on the sidewalk and stuff like that. Most likely. Kind of how Skirmish did. You know how Skirmish did before.
Yeah. Um, I still I gotta recover from that Georgia event last weekend, y'all. What did I
Uh
shoot? I shot a bag and a half of first strike rounds. It cost me like $200 for gas. Um,
so how many come in the bag? 600
$150.
for 200?
No, for gas.
Oh, for gas. Oh,
Spent like
okay.
200 for gas. Um, I spent a bag, no, 2 bags of first strike, not a bag and a half, 2 bags,
Yeah.
2 bags and a half. That's what I meant to say. Of first strike. And what else I do? Ate food. That whole trip cost me like 350, and then plus the FSRs. I'm still recovering from that a little bit, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I ain't no MagFed force. Going to get some more first strikes and go to the next event and hand them
Yeah.
out again, full auto. Hand them out again, full
Yeah.
auto.
Yeah.
Get
I'm
that
definitely
footage.
looking
I'm going
forward.
for that full auto first strike compilation at the end of the year.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, so that's my goal. You told me earlier on the Instagram live when we did that. You said what your goals are. I want to interact with the community more. I want you guys to tune in to my live streams when I go live on the field, because you could let me know what you want me to do. I'm literally paying attention to the chat while
Yeah.
I'm playing. Like, I will stop and like talk to the chat. I'll talk to you guys while I'm playing. So I go live first person on the GoPro to YouTube, and I go live with my phone on my wrist for the Instagram.
Yeah. It's all about growth, man. Like I said before, when I reach out to you about the podcast, and we had a great conversation about like this year, like just put more content out. Like that's really the goal this year is to put more content, but really be consistent on this. Like, don't just do it for the fame, do it for the people. And that's something that I look forward to keep doing every single day is just put more content for the people so they can enjoy it, they can love it. A lot of people can,
Exactly.
grow from
Consistency.
this. Yeah, motivation. So it's a big challenge this year with that. But I do feel like this year, man, a lot of doors will be open up from me and you and other people who's up and coming or who's already been in this game for a couple of years or for years on. Like just like Wolf said yesterday, he can definitely see a lot of people stepping up. Like it's a lot of waves out there for people to catch. So
Exactly.
we gotta definitely be consistent this year on that. And that's something that I look forward to doing, honestly. Each and every day is just be consistent.
Yep.
Because you just never know like who you're gonna come across that need to see you just leading, like being that leader.
The waves that you make every day, posting and doing your thing, those are all gonna make one big giant wave.
Yeah. Oh
You know.
yeah. Oh yeah. And my whole goal this year, and it's already in the process, is just to be more of a motivation for people, on and off the field. And so far, I'm doing a great job. But this year is going to be even bigger because a lot of people are looking at me now, and which is great and it's amazing. But having that focus, having that commitment to them is more important than anything on this earth. It's kind of like the movie Batman. I remember Batman was saying he doesn't care about himself. He cared more about the people, about saving Gotham. And the way he said that is like, man, he's not putting himself first. He's putting them first. Like he wants to save people, and that's kind of like the best thing I've ever heard. Like in the movie The Batman, the one that came out last year. So it's just important to put people first.
Yeah. Exactly. We gotta keep MagFed alive. We gotta keep. We gotta protect MagFed's life.
MagFed's been alive, man. I think MagFed been alive. I think, to be truthful with you, GQ, I think
Now you
MagFed
can
got
prove that.
alive.
You can.
I
But this
can.
is. I'm in Florida.
Yeah,
We don't got nobody here. We got a few active players. By a few, I mean literally like 4 or 5.
it's
Barely.
you.
We got
It's
like
your.
one, me and another one,
Yeah.
and like 2 others, and then like maybe like 3 more others. So it's dead down here, bro.
It's not dead, man. It's not dead. But
And
you just
then
had.
and then all the MagFed Florida, like all the people who like started MagFed Florida and like was hosting events and everything, abandoned it. So there is no more. MagFed Florida is dead. The only person who's ever posting anything on there is like me posting my video on there or something, or like somebody else, like the Pipe Hitters, which are a really cool group of people, who are their new face, and um, the captain Justin Bentley, yeah, Justin Bentley. He makes these cool, awesome game modes. He makes these props, which it doesn't cost like too much to make the props. Like it's household stuff. You know, he makes these really awesome props, and we play these awesome, cool games. So it's like he's keeping it alive with these awesome game modes, but he's up north,
Yeah.
you know. And in order for us to play together, we would have to, you know, travel up there, or you know, not a lot of times the north people travel down,
Yeah.
which I don't know why. Come down to South Florida. We got an awesome night scene. You go out to, you know, all the clubs downtown Fort Lauderdale, like it's lit, and you have a great time. Stay at a hotel, you know, enjoy some, you know, real Cuban food. Like go out on the beach, meet people. It's a really cool time, you know. Get
You know
some
what?
food, whatever.
I'm thinking about this, GQ. I'm going to connect you with my guy Nomad. He actually used to live in Jersey. He's also part of Black Renegade in New Jersey, but he lives in Florida now. I'm gonna go ahead and connect you with him. I'm gonna get in contact with him today or tonight and see, and because he's a great player. I know him for years, and I'm pretty sure like if you're out there with him, y'all both will probably do a lot of great things out there together. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect you with
Yeah,
him.
definitely. I'm down to link.
Yeah, I forget what part he's in, but I'm pretty sure it's not far at all from you. Honestly, I don't think so personally, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and connect you with him, man. He's a great dude. He actually came out. He came out in November to Jersey. You know, MagFed meetup, and it was amazing having him side by side again. And like me and that guy, we have so much history together, like on the field, off the field. Like he's a great dude, man. You would love him. You know, and he plays Warzone too. Fire, funny as
Yeah.
hell. So yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah, you guys were talking about that last night. How like you all playing Warzone.
yeah,
I was saying something about VR, virtual reality.
oh yeah.
It's not really like not a lot of people adopted that yet.
No,
But dude, the VR is as close as you could get to simulating paintball without actually being on the paintball field. Seriously, they got this game. It's called Contractors, where it's literally Call of Duty, but there is no ADS button where you know, left
yeah,
trigger where you automatically aim. No, you gotta actually aim. You gotta hold the front controller. It's like your hand, you know, and
yeah,
you have another controller in your other hand. So you gotta hold the front of the gun and the trigger, the grip of the gun, pull it up to your face, line it up, then hit your target. So, and there is no like hacks for that. I mean, yeah, you'll never see somebody probably out of the likelihood of you finding a hacker in there is you're not going to find it because you literally have to aim with your hands. There's no ADS button. So
yeah,
like, it's fair, it's fun. There's a bunch of different game modes where it's like you could have a paintball loadout. You can actually shoot like paintball. You could run on a paintball field. They got paintball fields in there. They got they got a bunch. People make the maps on there. You could literally play and different what is that called, loadouts. So you have Star Wars loadout where you have like literally all the Star Wars blasters. I was playing I was playing last night Star Wars Battlefront loadout on Nuketown Call of Duty map.
Hmm.
Like it's like modifiable like that. And like the Star Wars blasters, they kind of travel like how a paintball travels. You can see the beam, and you can literally dodge it like a paintball you would. Dude, it's awesome. Got to give that a shot. Like legit. I'm gonna make some more videos to
Yeah.
better like explain how actually cool the VR is. But I've tried making them VR videos. People didn't really like it, but I've had some people who actually do really want me to make more. So might
Yeah, I think you should do it, bro. If whatever the fans want, man, I think you should definitely make it. You know, I think it's important
like,
because
what if it's only one or two of them though?
hey, that's great. Like you got some people that don't even like your stuff, you know, like none. Like, but one or two people, man, and this is what I learned in life. Even when, you know, like me, for example, like I speak for a living. So when I'm gonna like talk to the crowd, it can be 100 people there, but I guarantee you 50 of them can relate and understand where I'm coming from. And 50 of them, I caught their eyes. I caught their attention, you know. I had to get their trust by what I was saying. And you know what? That's perfect. Like that to me is a great thing. So if a bunch of people are watching your stuff, bro, that's a blessing because you never know who they are, for one. You never know how they can change their lives and your life. You know, you never know who's
Yeah,
watching.
I might, inspire some people who just came to watch a VR video. And next
Yeah,
thing you know, they check out a couple other videos. They see what
yeah,
MagFed is.
yeah. Because they
You
could
know,
be,
so
you never know. Like they could be like a CEO of a company or something, and they're just looking for someone like you to like do content work for them, or somebody that can be sponsored. You just never know, bro. Like it's always somebody watching you who's got something going on in their life. So yeah.
no, you totally exactly. You never know who's gonna be watching.
So yeah, I would just keep on doing it, man. You know, it's important because, like I said, you never know who's watching you.
All
So
right, you heard that here, folks.
yeah,
The the Prophet Wolf podcast. More VR content coming to y'all soon.
more of that, bro. Before we go, bro, I got a couple more minutes left. My last question to you, man. You know, if someone is watching this podcast, like, what encouragement could you give to them? What could you inspire for them this year? You know, to keep doing. You know, to grow in, or someone who's just looking to just making a name for themselves, and they're your fan.
To all my followers out there, to my fans, watch my YouTube channel. Yo, I thank you guys so much for watching my stuff. It makes me want to post it more for y'all. And the advice I would like to give y'all is just go out there and have fun. And what I want to see more is you guys posting some content. I want to see MagFed content out the wazoo. I want to just go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and just be like bombarded with like MagFed meetup footage, event footage, stuff like that. Post your stuff. Um, don't be afraid what the haters will say. Just post it up. Let them speak their shit, and just have fun out there. Have fun and support other people. Support other people who are doing that stuff. Like I'll support you. I'll go and like all your stuff, comment on all your stuff, watch it to the end. That's a big thing that these YouTubers need nowadays because they changed the policies and whatnot. That you need watch time hours. That's kind of the struggle that I'm facing. Just need people to watch it for longer. So watching the videos to the end really helps. I appreciate that. So thank you guys for sticking to the end of my videos. I always be like saying some shit at the end, like see you at the next one or something like that.
Yeah.
Appreciating the people for putting the events that I go to together, or if I'm hosting it myself, letting the people who came out know that I appreciate uh, their sacrifice, their traveling, their to come out to one of my games, because I'd be hosting them down here too, So, but yeah, just be out there, play, and have fun. At the end of the day.
Well, there you guys have it, man. This was a great podcast. Having my brother on here once again, man. This is the third time, so it's gonna be a fourth time we're gonna run this back.
Well, obviously we gotta talk at least after 0 hour, but I'm sure we'll talk before then.
Yeah, we'll probably talk before and after, and I can't wait for 0 hour, man. I'm already planning things ahead of time, my strategy. I'm already making moves for that. I'm already having people involved.
That's my birthday weekend too, so
oh yeah,
gonna get lit after,
Yeah, gotta get it popping, man. And I'm looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. Everyone that tuned in for this podcast, man, stay tuned for the next podcast. Don't know when it's gonna be, but I got some big names coming in town. You guys probably already know this guy. I kind of gave you guys a hint yesterday on the IG Live. He's got snipers from overseas. He's probably one of the best snipers in the world. One of them. So
like the person themselves, right? The sniper, not the sniper rifle,
the person himself, man. The
Okay.
person himself. So he will be on my podcast pretty soon. I'm putting some dates right now, some time together. So, he will be on there. But other than that, man, guys, stay tuned for next podcast. Stay tuned for my next content as well. And GQ content is coming out. We got some things in the making. I know right now I'm working on a few projects of my own. So as you can see, I got the Wolf podcast, the Wolf shirt. So I'm working on right now some Wolf hoodies, some Wolf podcast hoodies. Guys can definitely connect with me on that. I will be putting the prices up sometime next week. So you guys stay tuned for all that, man. Definitely.
Yeah, everybody, make sure you hit the store. Man's got some quality stuff.
I forgot. I sent my guy GQ some shirts down there, and I hope you loved it, man.
I got it, bro.
Hope you loved it, man. So
yes, appreciate it. Thank you.
It's gonna be a whole lot more coming that way.
Yeah, I want to get that one with the podcast. I'll wear it next time we do the podcast.
Yeah, definitely, brother. Definitely, man. Other than that, everybody, man, the Prophet Wolf is out. You guys have a great weekend. Get some shots up. Get out there, man. Let's go.
Get out there, have fun.
GQ.